So my name is Marques Ogden. I am from I'm from Washington, D.C. I live in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. I'm about half hour outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Why don't you just share a little bit about that, and then we'll go into some things we're going to ask you. But I think that's important because, not everyone looks like, oh yeah, everything is great, success is beautiful, but a lot of times it's nice to hear the other end, so to reach back up to the top. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. It is another amazing day, and we have an amazing guest.
Yes.
We're going to bring him up in a minute.
And we are mother-daughter dynamic duo. I am Rochelle Schwartz.
And I am Alicia Schwartz.
And I will say we have been coaching for way over 27 years in relationships and
mental wellness.
So we want to thank our sponsors first. And that is Mick Factor, which is Mick Hunt. And
our social media team, Prex Agency, Waggis and team.
And International Wellness Alliance, who is with Elaine Sugar. She's the CEO and founder. So you want to get into it?
Let's go.
All right.
Wait, aren't you going to?
I am. Okay. That's what I mean. Anyhow, we're really happy to be here. We love coming on and sharing people's experiences
and stories,
their trials, tribulations. And I really believe that in coaching, since we are coaches, that if you're going to be an incredible coach, it is imperative for you to be able to work through all your things so you can hold that sacred space for others.
Yeah,
I had to say that because there are people that don't do that. So anyhow,
just FYI, if you haven't done your work yet, just note to self.
Yes. So I'm going to read something very short. It's from Journey to the Heart, and it's by Melody Beattie. And also, I want to, before I say anything, I am doing on Sunday, Sacred Sundays with Love. And it's every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's just going to be 15 minutes. And it's basically a meditation and then something very inspirational. You'll come out with an intention. And I read something and then we end it. But it just is something that came to me. And I just want to share it because I really feel that love is the foundation for everything. And let me tell you, I know that for a fact.
What's that song? What? All you need is love.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. So let me read this. When you look back at your past, look tenderly and gently at all that you have been through. Look with the eyes of the soul. See that each experience was necessary to bring you home to your heart. Take a deep breath and breathe that in and just feel that permeate throughout your whole body and into your heart.
Breathe it in, and we are going to bring up Marques. There he is.
Small ladies.
Hello.
We are so excited to be with you. It's been a while. I know we wanted to do this for a while.
Yeah.
And we are so blessed, Marques, to have you here with us this evening.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, ladies.
Yes, it's our pleasure. So why don't you just tell everybody just briefly a little bit about you and who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive into some questions.
Sounds good. So my name is Marques Ogden. I am from I'm from Washington, D.C. I live in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. I'm about half hour outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. I am a national, international keynote speaker, best-selling author, 5-time best-selling author. I'm a business coach. I'm a corporate consultant. I have a podcast called Get Authentic with Marques Ogden, which you lovely days have been on. And then I also am a former National Football League athlete. And I'm also a guy that has been at the top. I've hit rock bottom. I've had to start over. And now here I am today.
Yeah, and I we want to talk a bit about the bottom to the top because, I'm sure, people out there, they've had their, maybe they have, maybe they haven't, or maybe they're going through it now where they, had some kind of something that happened and they're at the bottom of the game, so to speak. So why don't you just share a little bit about that, and then we'll go into some things we're going to ask you. But I think that's important because, not everyone looks like, oh yeah, everything is great, success is beautiful, but a lot of times it's nice to hear the other end, so to reach back up to the top. So love to hear that.
Yeah, so I ended up after my NFL career struggling for about 6 months with addiction issues, alcohol, painkillers, nightlife, gambling, all these things. And I finally put the bottle and the pills down and I started Caden Premier Enterprises. We were a concrete contractor that started out as a small concrete contractor in Baltimore, Maryland. But in about a 2.5-year span, we ended up growing and becoming the largest African-American owned subcontractor in the area of what we call the scope of work called earthwork, dirt work, grading, all these things, massive hauling. We got to be a $20 million a year company. But unfortunately, ladies, as the company grew, my ego grew right along with it. I became very self-centered. I became very focused on money. I became very focused on nightlife and the glitz, the glamour, all the things that really meant nothing. And as a result of that, I ended up pushing out people in my business. And people are what I call a tangible, logical asset of your business. If you have good people, great things can happen. If you have bad people or you don't have good people or you don't have anybody to help you, you're going to end up having some struggles along the way. So I ended up being in a position where I lost all of my best people. I then lost another important tangible asset, a logical asset, which is capital or money. And then I ended up losing everything that I owned in 2013, April. Moved to Raleigh, North Carolina with about $400 to my name.
Wow.
My home got repossessed. My home got foreclosed on. Both cars were repossessed in the same day. And I was fired from 2 jobs in the same week. And then I finally hit rock bottom when I got a job as a custodian and I had my spoiled milk moment.
Wow. That is humbling, I will say.
Spoiled milk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what do you think has been your biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself?
What I've learned is that in life, you have to be willing to listen to your trusted team, and you have to be an individual that can create a psychologically safe, inclusive environment to allow your trusted team to express themselves without fear of being judged. And let me explain this like this. So the old Marques would constantly always be out there when he was in construction. Look at me, look at me. I would lead with what I call the personality ethics, which is when you're all concerned or self-absorbed about yourself. Look at me. I would use wrath or rage or envy or anger to try to control situations that I was fearful of, because in reality, I didn't know what I was doing. So today, if I don't know something or I struggle with something, I ask. And so our team can tell me things. For example, we were posting something on social media. One of my team members gave me her perspective and said, Marques, what you're asking me, I can easily do. But I want to be clear that just through communication, what's going on my side. But I want you to also know I feel safe enough with you to tell you how I feel. And I said to her, Jaslyn, you should always feel safe enough to tell me what you feel. We may not always agree on something, but I'm never going to disrespect you. I'm never going to make you feel that you're not heard or not valued. And as a result of that, the team can always tell me truthfully how they feel. And if you're a leader that your people can't talk to you honestly and openly, you're a leader that's destined to fail at some point on your journey.
Yeah, and like you said, were you always that kind of leader?
Oh, absolutely not. I learned that through failure. I learned that through losing everything. I have a saying, when you lose everything, you appreciate everything. And when I lost everything, it put me into a really good position of being humbled. And when I got humbled, I was like, oh, snap. Like again, when I got to Raleigh, I didn't know a soul. Like I moved here because of my ex-wife's family. I knew her family, and I had no friends. I had nobody in my corner. Literally, I'm here with just my fiance, my stepdaughter, and then we got pregnant with my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter. I found out my birthday. But other than that, I literally didn't know a soul when I got to the Raleigh area.
Wow.
Now you have 2 daughters, am I correct?
I have a 20-year-old. She is a junior at NYU studying nursing. She got a full scholarship for her junior year. She's a straight A student at NYU in the nursing program. I'm proud of her. I've been in her life since she was 8. And like I tell everybody, I tell people when I'm dating that I divorced her mother, not her. If you have a problem with me having my 20-year-old daughter in my life, then you and I will never work out. So I have a 20-year-old and I have a 10-year-old daughter.
Wow. Wow.
And you're married?
No, I am not.
Oh, okay. No, I know his divorce the first time, but I know about the next one.
Yep. So my stepdaughter is my ex-wife's daughter. And then my daughter, Farah, was with my ex-wife.
Okay. What did you learn about your relationships with females, with women, with your exes?
So you mean like
question? And it's not just a little thing.
I mean, women that did I date it? You mean?
No, you're saying your ex-wife.
Your ex-wife.
So I learned with my ex-wife that I did not handle conflict well in the early part of our marriage. I would get frustrated. I would get angry, especially around money. Most people fight around finances, intimacy, children.
Yep.
We did not fight about children. We didn't fight about intimacy, but we fought a lot about money. I'm a natural saver. I've gotten a lot better as I've gotten older, and I do well in my business. And I'll buy. I'm like, for example, I've been in my house now for 18 months. I finally bought some really nice furniture. I spent $1,000 on my furniture, right? So before I wouldn't have done that. So I've gotten a lot better. But early on, the problem was I was the only one working for many years, right, while Farah was born. And we agreed to that. But it was hard because I was trying to speak, and that was going nowhere. Everything was free or no. So I was working all these odd-end jobs, coaching kids in training or running a 7-on-7 league or making appearances at birthday parties as a birthday party clown or a football player, whatever I could do just to make a buck. So what I learned is in new relationships, I don't yell. I haven't raised my voice at anybody since 2018, give or take March. I remember having a fight with Bonnie, as my ex-wife, about money. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Even on the day when I found out when I filed for divorce, I still didn't yell, didn't scream, didn't do any of that. I was just very matter of fact, very calm. And today, I just don't have the energy to yell. Like I'm literally, I don't have the energy, the desire. I'm such a big guy. I don't want to scare anybody. And that's what I learned too in my marriage. Like that, I probably came off as intimidating to her because I was really upset about things. And so in new relationships, I'm much more to talk things out. have conversation, try to figure out what's going on. I mean, I've been dating since I've been divorced. I've dated and broke up and all. Even when I break up with girls or vice versa, there's no anger. I'm just like, you know what, it worked out. I'm sorry.
Right.
I wish you the best, and just keep it moving. And so I've learned that life is really too short.
Yeah.
Boy, is that the truth. And communication, I think, is imperative.
And, again, because you in a relationship, you could be thinking one thing.
Yes.
And she's thinking another. It's like the ship's going the other way. So it's always important to be in that conversation of communication.
Always. Yeah. Always.
So if you were going to give someone the best advice in life, what would it be, Marques?
I would tell people that in life, you have to realize that you need to learn how to move horizons, which basically means when life throws you challenges, learn how to break them down in smaller, actionable steps to move through challenges. We talk about, your one mindset shift away. This is so big because life is not going to be linear. It's not going to be all rosy red. It does, even in dating, that's when you're dating somebody, I tell you, look, dating is awesome. Let me take that back. Dating can be fun, all right? It's not awesome. It can be fun. But what happens is when you have that first fight or you have that first disagreement, how does it go then, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to always be, the perfect romance and we're at this restaurant, we're traveling here. Like I was watching 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, like, I'm vacationing and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. Well, things happen, can't travel, go see the folks. It all starts unraveling.
Yeah.
And that's life, right? That's relationships, right? So if you're listening to this, understand that at the end of the day, you need to learn how to move horizons. When challenges, when challenges present themselves, learn how to break them down to actionable steps, move through them, and get through them to the other side. Don't just look at challenges, say, I have a challenge. Darn, I can't get through this. Quit and throw the towel in.
So let me ask you a question. Now that you've been divorced twice, correct?
No, once. Only once. No, only one.
One, sorry. Cancel, clear, delete. Cancel, clear, delete. Once. And you're dating now, right? You're dating. Are you dating?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. What do you see is different in your dating now that you've had this experience and you've gone through a divorce and you're out there in the pool of dating? What do you see about yourself that's different in relationship with these women? Because the dating now is so different.
I have become less tolerant and much more aware of red flags.
Mm-hmm.
In my past,
give me an example. Like, what's a red flag for you?
So a red flag is, for example, if somebody says that, we met on an app, whatever, and we go out, right? And we're sitting there and like talking and trying to get to know that person. And then they tell me something that I know I didn't tell them. That's just not something that's like on the internet. Like you can just go and Google it. You got to actually like go and search. To me, that's a red flag. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to sit there and do a whole bunch of recon on me, then obviously there's other intentions. Like if you don't just not trying to get to know me, have a conversation, get to know me, who I am, what I'm about. If you're just like doing a bunch of recon and stuff like that, that's a red flag. Gotcha. I can't do it. Or when women who say that, I'm ready for a relationship. Okay, that's cool. That's great. And we're chatting. And then next thing you know, this triggered me and that triggered me. I'm like, okay, well, then you're obviously not ready to be in a relationship. That's a red flag. See you later. Like, that's cool. Like, have a nice day. So I'm just, and again, like, and if people I have almost zero in common with, right? And I can see that. Yeah. And I can see like, you like watching reality shows and a bunch of stuff I don't like to watch, or you're not into some things that I'm into. And like, at least like, around education or expanding your horizons or trying to be more eclectic in how you do things, yeah, I'm done. And I have a saying, right? I actually wrote this on my profile on Hinge, right? It's funny, a lot of girls like this. If you're looking for a broken man to fix, I'm not your man.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I'm not broken.
I just got the chills.
Yeah.
That's such a great one because
I'm not broken.
yeah, we go, there's so many, and I've said this many times that, you meet someone and it's like, if you want to fix them, they're not for you and you're not for them because you're not there to fix them. So it's like, check.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I tell her, look, I say, look, I'm not broken. I'm not perfect, but I don't need you to fix me. And, I'll have women I've dated that, go out a couple times and they try to control me. Like, oh, well, we're going to do this now and this now. I'm like, wait a second. Like, we agreed to do this. And now you want to do that? I'm like, we are like early in this relationship. And now you're just trying to control and set the tone and try to see if you can, no. Have a nice day. And it was so interesting. My sister told me this. She's like, Marcus, no woman wants a safe guy, completely safe guy. They want to have a little bit of edge to them, a little bit of mystery, a little bit like, yeah, you're not going to get away with that. Yeah, that's not how it's going to be. And I think about that, at the end of my marriage, when I was trying to save it, I literally was letting her do anything that she wanted. Like whatever she wanted to do, I let her do it. And looking back on that, I'm like, wow, that's probably why it didn't work out because I didn't put my foot down. I was like just being I was just a pushover. Yeah. And so now in dating, oh no, if you want to try to push, you want to try to or another red flag, if you're like more than 15 minutes late, I'm done.
Yeah.
You're not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
If you don't, I remember I had somebody who was dating supposed to come over to the house to meet for dinner and go out. She was like 20 minutes late, 20 minutes late, didn't text me until then say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm running late. I'm like, don't even worry about it. Just have a nice day. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I said, well, you're the one that's late. And you tell me you were running late.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Like, seriously?
Yeah. There's an old saying too, in what you're saying, Marcus, and I think it was Maya Angelou. People show you who they are. Trust it.
Believe them.
Believe it and trust it. Yep. And boy, oh boy, is that the truth. People will definitely tell you if you're listening.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm always simply looking at the end of the day, you got to be able to just learn how to, look at stuff, navigate stuff. Dating is not easy. Being married is not easy. Life's not easy. It's just true. It's not. So everyone say, "Oh man, you're so lucky to have a wife." I said, "Well, I hear what you're saying, but there's pros and cons to every situation." You know what I mean? Like I love to have somebody that I could talk to constantly and I could lean on and doesn't judge me. I can share things with when I'm having a bad day. I was just telling this to a girl I'm dating right now. I was like, in the NFL, I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have anybody to talk to when I came home from. My rookie season, we won one game. We went 1-15 my rookie year. And every day I would come home to just an empty apartment or go out with a girl and then she'd go home. There was nobody. There was no family. There was no girlfriend. There was nobody to talk to. And man, that's really sad. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the other side when I was married, somebody I was trying to constantly please. Didn't work out. So you got to find a balance. You got to find, in my opinion, you got to find a balance that you can live with that's good for everybody involved.
Yeah. I have a question. The women that you're attracted to today, have they done personal growth work on themselves?
Or is that important to you?
Heck yeah, it is. Good. That's a red flag. If a woman has been divorced and hasn't gone to therapy or hasn't tried to work through it, then I see it's a red flag. Because that means you're trying to tell me that it was all the other person's fault.
Right.
And that's BS. Again, I've been in therapy since June of 2022. I had to call my therapist today. Today, we talk weekly on the phone. I used to go and see him, but now it's a little bit further out. I'm so busy with work. We have a half hour to hour phone call per week. And so if a woman has not been in therapy after divorce or not tried to work through counseling or personal development or personal growth, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because that's what we say all the time. I mean, I could never be with a man that hasn't done work on themselves or is willing to even be in any kind of help or whatever. It wouldn't work.
And the truth
It
is,
just wouldn't work.
no, it wouldn't. And from me personally, those men are older, and usually they have done
The old
nothing.
school
The
men.
old school men.
Yeah, like
they're stuck in their ways. I mean, I
Oh,
remember
yes.
when my parents got divorced, and my father, against his father's wishes, put us in therapy. And my dad told my grandfather, his own dad, look, Dad, I love you. To his own dad, I love you, but back off. These are my sons, my boys. Marcus is struggling. He needs therapy. So I was in therapy back in the late 80s when it was almost unheard of. So again, if you're in the dating pool now, 50s and up, I'm 44. 45 and up, a lot of times, most men have not or will not go to therapy.
I know men that are in their 60s.
Yeah.
There are so
As I say, it's just keep going up. The higher up you go,
and it's mind-blowing.
It is. Yeah, they feel that again, I said, they feel that they are always right and that they are imperfect and they don't need to change.
Correct. They're ego-driven and narcissists.
Correct. And again, if I meet a woman that doesn't think that she needs to work on something or change something, then I'm gone, because that's just something that I don't want to be with.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very true. So the next question would be, what advice would you give to your youngest self?
Marcus.
I would tell the younger Marcus to learn how to listen to people and not think that he knows everything. And that was a big problem I had with my construction company in my youth. I always thought I knew it all. And that was the beginning of my downfall with my construction company, into my personal life, and going forward. So now I know how to listen to people.
Don't you think that's very common for a lot of men, honestly? Don't you think that's like the biggest thing I think that men need to learn about themselves is that it's that macho thing, it's that.
We have an ego. We have an ego.
Yes,
that's what
totally.
it is. Our ego. Our ego will not allow us, and not all men.
No.
Our ego, for some men, our ego will not allow us to admit we're wrong. I can tell you that was me until I ended up going through my business failure and having to start over at rock bottom.
Yeah. So on a lighter note, with all of what we're sharing, because this is always nice, what activities in your life light you up and bring joy to your heart?
Other than my daughters, like doing things with them.
Yeah.
I love poker. I love the movies. I'm a big gym rat. I love going to the gym. And I'm a big proponent of that because I'm really big on activity. As a matter of fact, I'm actually having tomorrow the plasma rejuvenation procedure done on my ball socket of my right hip because I've had so much damage from football that they're going to end up doing that to fix it. And I'm excited because I can start to get mobility back, good mobility back. And I love running now and playing ball and all that, but it hurts. So I'm excited to get that back into my life, starting, after I get my surgery, or my in and out surgery tomorrow.
I know someone, I had a client also that did that with her hip, and she's doing great. So it really does work.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I found a great doctor here in the Raleigh area.
Great. I'm sure you'll have great results. You'll feel like a different person.
Amen.
So if you were going to change the world as it is today, what changes would you make and why?
It's a big one.
Yeah.
If I was to change the world, I would get rid of all of the hate and all of the issues, all of the bickering that we have in our country. Our country has been so divided lately. It's been sickening. I'm just tired of all of the drama, arguing, fighting, the killing. I mean, all these things are just horrific. So if I could change anything, I would not have our world have so much violence or hate in it, because it's literally just disgusting and sickening how far we have gone to this level of insanity in our lives.
It is. I mean, I always say, like, I like, in my mind, I like to go back to when I was young, because when I was young, it was so great. You were hanging out with your friends, riding your bike. You know, you didn't worry about all this other stuff with guns and violence and divisiveness. And I just take a trip there sometimes, and I'm like, where are we? Like, where are we
terrible
today? You know,
and it's sad. It really is sad.
It is sad, and it is disgusting.
And I feel for this generation.
Yeah.
You know, like my
Your
niece
girls.
or your girls or your. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be an interesting ride the next couple of years, and I pray that there's big changes in a way where
that supports
that humanity is lifted and not divided.
Yeah.
We're right with you on that one.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Totally agree with you.
And one more question before we let you off to this very fine night. If God could speak to you today, what's the message he wants you to know, Marques?
He would want me to know just to keep doing what we are doing and keep inspiring others to work through challenges, never give up, and just keep pushing forward. Because so many people are constantly giving up because they feel they're not going anywhere. And a lot of times you give up on yourself just before you're about to break. So I hope that he would tell me to keep doing what we're doing, to inspire the masses to move past challenges and really change their perspective and make the world a much better place.
Woo!
Yeah, let me tell you.
Ending on a great note. That's beautiful.
I mean, you're a great example of that.
You are. You're a living example of that.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you both.
We appreciate you. And we appreciate your honesty as a man.
And being raw and real.
Vulnerable. It's like, God, thank you.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the men that are watching, hopefully, you know, that maybe will tune into this, you know, when they see a strong man like you and they see that, you know what, to be strong is to be vulnerable, is to be authentic, you know, and that's really what you're giving other men and other, you know, people in this world, to show them that it's okay to do that. You know, it really is. I wish more men would do that.
Yes, amen.
That's my prayer. That's my wish.
I hope this makes a positive impact in other people's lives.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
They shift their mindset to the next level, and they are just one mindset shift away.
It's the new sexy. I think that should be the new thing.
The new
that would
sexy.
be the new sexy for men. Be vulnerable and you're sexy. See, maybe that'll shift.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we got to do it that way.
That's a good thing.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever works.
I mean, look at your smile right there. When I said that, it lit you up like a Christmas tree. So basically, I think we're onto something.
Oh,
I like that.
Like I said, I love it. Like I said, anything to make a difference, let's go after it. So I look forward to continue the conversation.
All right. So thanks, Marques. Now, where can everybody find you if they want to?
The best place is we have an app, the Marques Ogden app, MarquesOgden. It's on any app store, on your Apple phone, your Android. Connect with us there. Our website is www.marquesogden.com, or shoot me an email, marques@marquesogden.com.
Awesome. So thank you for being a real man and sharing your vulnerability.
We love you.
We really love you and we appreciate you. So thank you.
Thanks for having me on, ladies.
Big hugs and a smoochy pooch.
See you guys later.